Alright, in this lesson we're going to learn about solving rational equations. We've already looked at rational expressions. Things are a little bit different with equations. Solving means finding the values that make it true, the roots. With equations we're allowed some more flexibility as long as we do things uniformly throughout the equation. To solve a rational equation there are three steps. Factor first. Factoring is always a good idea. Simplify if possible once you factor. Second, multiply all the terms by the LCD. This will clear the fractions, so no more rationals to deal with. 3, check that the apparent solution works and that it's not extraneous. Extraneous means an answer that seems to be an answer but isn't actually valid. Let's work through some examples and you'll see how this works. First one, I'm going to look at solving 2 bracket y minus 1 over 3 plus 5 equals y. Now I'd like you to observe that is a term, this large thing together. See, because these are multiplied and divided, it kind of joins them together to make one term. This is a separate term and this is a term. This has 3 terms. The LCD of this expression is pretty easy. It's 3. There's only one value there on the denominator. With an equation, you're allowed to multiply everything by a number. Now, when I bring this 3 over here and multiply onto this large rational expression, there'll be a 3 on the numerator and the denominator. They'll cancel, leaving me just the numerator. The 5 gets multiplied by the 3, and the y gets multiplied by the 3. Now, by the way, this is point 2. Multiply all terms by the LCD to clear fractions. See, there's no more fractions anymore. That's because the LCD matches up with what I'm multiplying by. Okay, we'll expand. 2y minus 2 plus 15 equals 3y. Let's gather the y terms to one side. Gather the constant to the other side. Y equals 13. My check would be to see that 13 is a valid number to use. 13 is possible to substitute on the right side. I'm not going to have any trouble there. 13 over here, 13 minus 1 is 12. It's a perfectly valid real number. There's not going to be any problem with this. This is my root. Now you could actually do a thorough check and substitute it all the way in and see that left side equals right side. I'll leave that for you to do. Okay, that's a pretty simple one. Let's go on to something a little more difficult. How about this one? X divided by x minus 2 equals 2 divided by x minus 2 plus 2. I'll give you a moment to figure out what the LCD is, and I'd like you to also decide how many terms are there. Okay, you should be pushing pause, by the way, in order to do that. The LCD is x minus 2. I'm going to multiply everything by x minus 2. I'll put a bracket around it all. Because this and this denominator are identical, they're the same factor as each other, multiplication is going to cancel them, leaving the numerator. It's going to be true here as well. I'm left with the numerator. And this term is multiplied. By the way, there were 1, 2, 3 terms. So notice how we had 1, 2, 3 products. X equals 2 plus 2x minus 4. We gather the x terms on the left, gather the constants on the right. X equals 2 is my apparent solution. This seems to be the answer. Let's go have a look here. If I put 2 in here, no problem on the numerator. On the denominator, I get 2 minus 2. That's 0. I'm dividing by 0. This has no solution. That number is not permitted. It's extraneous. It is an answer that seems to be the answer, but it actually isn't permitted and won't work. Okay, here's a hard one. Now you get to graduate. 3 over y squared plus y minus 2 minus 1 over y squared minus 1 equals 7 over 2 bracket y squared and 3y and 2. Okay, you decide how many terms and you decide what the common denominator is. You may want to pause it for a moment to just check and see if you've got the right idea. Alright, hopefully you paused it. I'm going to rewrite this as 3 over the factored form, y plus 2, y minus 1. minus 1 over the factored form y plus 1, y minus 1. And same idea over here. Don't forget that 2, y plus 2, y plus 1. There are 3 terms, 1, 2, 3 terms. The LCD, I need a y plus 2. The fact that I have one here and here doesn't mean that I need 2 of them, it just means they have agreement. This one also needs a y plus 2. I have a y minus 1. The fact that this has a y minus 1 is fine, they just agree with each other. This needs a y minus 1. And in addition, I've got a y plus 1. And there's one more thing, there's a number 2 here. All of those are the unique factors in the denominator that we need to account for. 1, 2, 3, 4 different factors. We put a bracket around the entire equation. We multiply the entire equation by the LCD. So there I go writing it. Okay, now as I start working this out, let's have a look. Looking at all of these factors in blue and looking at this denominator, you can see that these factors cancel with this factor and this factor, leaving the 2 and the y plus 1. So I'm going to have the 3 that was there, the 2, and the y plus 1. You might want to pause and think about that. Look at this term, y plus 1, y minus 1. Okay, got those right there. They're going to cancel out, leaving y plus 2 and a 2, with the 1, 2, y plus 2. Okay, trying this one out, I've got 3 factors. I've got those 2, 3. It's going to leave that factor that doesn't cancel. Gets multiplied by the 7. There you go. No more rationals, no more fractions. That was step 2. Now we're just going to expand. This is 6 times y and 6. This is negative 2y and negative 2 times 2, so negative 4. Remember to distribute that negative into both of those terms. 7y minus 7. To gather all the y's on the left side, I've got 6 here. Take away 2, that's 4. Bring this one across by subtraction. 4 minus 7, negative 3y. Let's see, I have 6 minus 4 is 2 on the left, so take away 2 on the right. Negative 7, take away 2, negative 9, leading me to y equals 3. That's my apparent solution. Remember, we're always suspicious. Check this out. Can I substitute 3 into here, or into the factored form? 3 is fine here, 3 is fine here. This is equivalent to this factored form. 3 substituted here and here are both fine. And this factored form, 3 here and 3 here are both fine. Y equals 3 is a legitimate root. That's it, folks. That's how you do it. Good luck with your assignment.